Hey Joshua, a few weeks back I played a pretty bad classical tournament and it made me want to get serious about chess. So I got an international master coach and I will be trying to get the candidate master title, which means 2200 FIDE. I have since signed up for a new tournament and this is my first game in that tournament. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so since I'm a d4 player, I started the game with d4, and we got into a Grunfeld, so this position. And here the main move is bishop c4, but instead I play bishop e5, which is an Erditsky recommendation, and it brings people out of theory pretty quickly. So I'm pretty sure my opponent already didn't. It was already a fresh position for my opponent. So yeah, I developed the knight to e2 instead of f3 to avoid any annoying pins on b4. And he does play bishop g4 anyway, which I don't think is the best move and is also probably the first move that was kind of new to me, but I knew to just push f3. So he goes back, I develop my pieces. Here I was kind of faced with a decision. Do I take the bishop or do I move back? And I think moving back didn't make too much sense because I was expecting for him to push b5. And usually what you do when b5 is pushed is you go to d5. Sometimes the traps the rook actually. But in this case, he would just play bishop there and force me to trade anyway. So I didn't really see the point in doing all this. So instead I just take immediately, which does make his development pretty easy with the knight. I mean, he develops by taking my piece, but I think that's okay. Here he's threatening my knight on e2, so I do protect it. And I protect it like this because the long-term plan, I've had this position on the, not exactly this position, but this opening on the board before. And my plan was basically to push f4, f5, and break open the king side, and yeah. That's why I protect the knight with a rook instead of doing it a different way. Here I was kind of, I don't know, I had a few moves at my disposal. I thought maybe knight here, but in that case I didn't like that he was getting in with the queen. I mean, yeah, I didn't see why I should allow this. And if my knight stays on e2 and he goes in with the queen, I always have knight f4, so that chases the queen away, and I kind of didn't want to allow him to get any sort of play against me. So instead I just do a preparatory move, king h1, because as I said, the plan is to get some play going on the king side, so I tuck him away. He goes in anyway with his knight, so I move my bishop back. I'm not going to trade my nice bishop against his knight, especially given that he has a very powerful bishop on g7 as well. So yeah, we play a few more moves. Here I go with f4, and he kind of stops my idea of playing f5 by playing e6, so I just bring back up, play g4, which looks very weakening to my king, but at the same time I didn't see how he was getting like his pieces together to really exploit the weakness of my king, so I thought that was okay. And here I was thinking maybe I push f5, but I didn't like the fact that he had g5 as a response, shutting down, closing up the king side. So instead I play h4 as well. So now he can no longer play g5 because I would just take. So instead he looks for a counterplay on the queen side. And here I was thinking, do I just immediately push f5 and we would have maybe gotten a position like this? But honestly, I didn't see the point in allowing him any counterplay on the queen side, because I could just stop it with a3, which is the move I played. So he reroutes his bishop. I'm not exactly sure why. But yeah, the time has come for me to push f5, so I do. He takes in the center, and here I was again faced with a decision: do I take with a pawn or a knight? Ultimately, I thought taking with a knight looked better, because if I took with a pawn, he could have like gotten in like this, or probably worse, even taking here first and then gotten in. So again, didn't want to let him get in, so I just take with the knight. This way the e4 square is protected by the rook. So yeah, he still gives me that check, and in my head what I calculated before was I'll move the king up. It looks a lot more natural than going to g1. But then I realized if I go up, he has tactics probably looking like this, for example. Like he could take the pawn with the knight, and if I take back, he would have this pin, and I didn't think that looked very good for me. So I looked at a different line. What if he takes with the knight? Maybe I can take, on g6. He can't take g4 with check because I would just chase his knight away, / it would get lost. So I expected him to take like this. And I thought maybe I can sacrifice my knight for these pawns, open up his king. Here, king h7 meets rook f7, getting the queen. So he would have to move there. This is not what happened. This is just my calculation. Yeah, I think this would have been the best move. Honestly, I stopped calculating here because it got kind of messy in my head, and I was already kind of down on time and didn't want to do anything too committal and concrete. But yeah, I think this would have been the position. If he goes up with the rook to d6, I would have taken with a pawn. So that's not possible. So I think he would have had to move back. I could have taken there, because if he takes with the bishop, I again have the idea of getting his queen. Yeah, and here maybe rook d6, and I don't know what to make of this position. He's up like 4 points of material, and I don't think I can really exploit his king too much. But yeah, so that could have been one way the game would have gone. That could have been one continuation, but instead he checks me, and like king h2 looked a lot more complicated than king g1, so ultimately I decided to play king g1. So he takes on f5. I take back, obviously, pins my knight. I'm just gonna keep on going with my plan of opening up his king. Honestly, here I think what he should have done maybe is played bishop c5 and gone for something like this. Here I would have gone queen b1 and not c2, because there would have been some play on the c file, I think. But yeah, we could have reached a position like this. I thought this was always good for me, but actually I totally missed that he would have he could take with a knight on on e5. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with the squares, but yeah. So I would have missed this from afar. But instead of going into all this, he just took there and played queen b6, it looked clever. Okay, so if I take with a pawn, he takes back with a queen. But then I realized I think I can just hide my king on the h file, and this didn't look too bad to me. Like now his king is quite open. I don't really see how he's getting to my king. So yeah, I went for this. I was happy. Here, I need to defend h4. He attacks h4 again, so I defend it again. And he moves his king there. And when I played this move, I kind of felt the initiative was like really building up, because now I push his queen back. I push his queen back again. Here, I don't think he can go to b6 or something, because f7 falls and it looks pretty horrible. So he goes there. And I thought if he went here, I was already calculating ahead while he was thinking on this move, and I thought rook h5 just looked really good, because I calculated a bunch of stuff like queen here. How would I have stopped the checks? And I realized I could just go down and he would have no more checks, because my pieces guard the second rank pretty well. And yeah, this would have been great, I thought. Or I also calculated weird stuff like knight d2, for example. Queen there. I would have played queen there. He would have gotten in, and yeah, I don't know. I was in the process of calculating all these lines, but instead of all this, he played bishop back to protect h6, which I, for some reason, completely missed. I don't know why. It was kind of a blind spot this game, you'll see. But yeah, I missed the retreating move, the simple retreating move. And mind you, I had like 17 minutes to 45 minutes on his clock. So yeah, I was low on time. So I bring my queen. Did I move y'all? Yes, I bring my queen, and he brings his rook. I can't take it because my knight is pinned, like, to my queen. So I keep bringing my pieces, basically. He plays rook g6, and here I had about 5 minutes probably to think of a move, and I thought bishop g5 looked pretty smart. I'm involving the bishop, possibly on f6. Yeah, and he can't take for obvious reasons. So instead he does this, which I'm pretty sure was the definitive mistake of this game for him. So yeah, I think he just missed that I was opening up my rook as well. So when I took back like this, my rook will be guarding my bishop on e5. So we went down this line, and now I'm just up in knight for a pawn. So I was feeling good, even though I still had very little time on the clock, although this is move 39, so we got some extra time, 15 minutes extra after these two moves. And here I thought I was making a good practical decision of taking with the king, because if I took with the queen, he would have gotten in like this, and I would have had to block some checks. If I played this, by the way, he had rook takes. So yeah, got to be careful for these types of tactics. But yeah, it would have been like this maybe, and I don't know, from afar with a little time to calculate all this, I thought, why bother? And I took with the king, just not realizing that I was getting into just as much trouble, if not more, because he now picks up my pawn. But at least I get some good safety, and I was safe from checks from here on out, I think. So yeah, he tries to generate some counterplay. Here I could have taken on b5, I think, but I don't know. I thought I had something more precise, and yeah, so I harassed his queen, harassed the queen again. He went there, and after this move, I actually thought he was going to resign, because like, I'm threatening mate on h6. What does he have? Like, nothing. He has to defend somehow, and once again I just missed that he had this f8 square to defend h6. So that idea was missed twice, which I'm not very proud of, but whatever. And yeah, if he had gone up with a king, I would have had a fork on f5 with a queen. So like this, I would have picked up the rook. But yeah, no, he plays the good move, the only move that holds, I think. I go in and pick up this pawn in the end. He harasses my queen. He opens up his king a bit more, which I was happy about, although that's the only thing he can do at this point. I attack his h6 pawn again, take the other pawn, bring my queen closer, and he plays this move. And here I calculated this check. So like, he can go, if he goes here, I have a fork. If he goes here, that would have been the most resilient move for sure. I don't know exactly what I would have played, but he instead chose the immediate mate. I don't know if you saw this. He looked a little bit surprised, but not really, because he knew that, like, he knew his position was lost. I just think he forgot about this mate. But anyway, so I win the game. This is I'm happy with this win because it was a pretty strong player. And I don't know. I don't think I made any crazy mistakes. Maybe my whole plan of of opening my king up so badly was not a good plan. But honestly, I didn't see how he would exploit this weakening of my king. So yeah, he didn't, and I got the win. So I'm gonna now do the engine analysis. Can you even see this? Wait, I need to... How do I do this? Oh my god. Okay, let's do it like this. I haven't analyzed with the engine yet. I've been waiting quite impatiently actually to do this. My god, I'm actually kind of scared. So far it looks good, but yeah, okay. I knew I was winning for quite a long time in the endgame. Okay, I did give him some chances. I kind of knew that I gave him some chances in some places, but not too many. Okay, this graph doesn't look too bad. I expected worse actually. So for example, here it's already minus 0.5. Interesting. Minus 1 here if he plays one of these two moves. Actually, the engine is not so sure. Okay, but then we go a bit further. Okay, you guys see exactly this. Okay. So yeah, it was inaccurate for me to open my king, but was this correct? Should I have stopped his counterplay? The engine doesn't even think so. It just thinks I need to go for the attack immediately. Whatever. I did this instead. Yeah, his bishop reroute was a bit unnecessary apparently. And after this, I should have taken with a pawn. Okay, interesting. I will have to see why. How does black punish me? By taking here first. What if I just take back? Okay, yeah, basically, wait. Oh my god, okay, so there are crazy tactics in the position, which I would have definitely not seen. So okay, I took with the knight. It's not the best move, but it's not horrible. And here I was right to not go for king h2, but not because of this. Did this even work? Kind of, for him. Yeah. So I didn't think this was great for me. But it's not bad either. It's equality, the engine says. Okay, but the king move was correct. This was a blunder, apparently. Oh, right. There's the same idea. I just didn't think it worked here for some reason. Interesting. I don't know why I didn't consider it here in this position. He played the wrong move, though. Again, he can take. Yeah, because now his queen defends the knight. Okay. And yeah, all of this was correct. And after this move, yeah, so I felt it correctly. I was getting the initiative. Pushed his queen back. Yeah, I played all the best moves from here on out. Queen d1 was correct. Yeah, and this... Okay, this is the only move. Okay, this, like if I play what I played, which is bishop g5, I keep a 3.5 advantage. So it's plus 4 almost, actually. And if I don't find it, I only have a 1.7 advantage. So okay, I'm happy I found this. Okay, and this was just inaccurate because I was already crushing apparently, which kind of feels like I was, but I didn't see a proper way to break through. Okay, and actually I was thinking here, maybe do I take the rook? Is it more accurate to take the rook? But I had so little time, I didn't want to miss anything stupid. But okay, yeah, the king move, the engine doesn't love it, but doesn't hate it either. Okay. And from here on out, it was just... Wait. Actually, yeah, the engine doesn't want me to take the pawn. Interesting. So this wasn't even bad. Yeah, I didn't consider this move. That would have been cleaner, for sure. But okay, from here on out, I thought I played worse. It felt like a shittier conversion, but it got the job done. The engine doesn't hate it too much. Okay. So yeah, that was my first game. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any feedback on what I should do differently, definitely let me know. And yeah, I hope my game 2 will be just as successful. Bye-bye.